Hello and welcome to another SolidWorks how-to video. In this video, I'm going to walk you through, it should be a really quick video, frankly, but I'm going to walk you through how to sort of set this assembly up to be shared. So when we have a single part, for instance, if I had one of these screws and I just wanted to send one of these screws to somebody to share it, or if I wanted to put it on a file server so somebody could pull it down and get access to it, all I need to do is email them or upload the part file, the .sldprt file. Um, pardon me. Assemblies are more complicated because assemblies, SolidWorks needs to be able to see the full file path to each one of these parts. And if I were to just save this assembly file, which is called assembly1 or asem1, because I just left it default when I created this for the tutorial. If I were to just email this to someone and they tried to open it on their end, they would effectively end up with a completely empty assembly. Because as SolidWorks opens it, it is going to go looking for threaded plate. And because we have not included the file for threaded plate, it's not going to find it and it's effectively going to delete it from the assembly. And then it's going to look for clearance plate. And because we haven't sent that file, it's going to delete it from the assembly and so on. So what they'll end up with, if you just email a SolidWorks assembly to someone, is they will end up with a completely empty file. The way around that is what SolidWorks calls a pack and go. And once we have an assembly and not just, well, really, once we have anything more than just a part, so whether that is a drawing, which we'll get into in later videos, or whether that's an assembly or both, as soon as we have more than just a part, we need to use the pack and go process in order to send that to other people. The other thing pack and go is good for is pack and go is really good for sort of quick and dirty revision control, because the end result of our pack and go is going to be a zip file. And if we create that zip file and we, give it a date or give it a revision, we can archive that somewhere and it'll be forever unchanged. So we can always go back to old revisions. So a couple of good reasons to use the pack and go. Pack and go is very simple. Like I said, there should be a quick video, but pack and go is very simple. Up on the SolidWorks menu, up at the top where it actually says SolidWorks, I need to get the little arrow over so that I can get to file. And there's an option down here toward the bottom third that says pack and go. And then I'm going to click that. And it's going to open a window that shows all of the files that are going to be included in this pack and go, right? If there were drawings, those are not included by default. And in fact, when I first opened this fresh install of SolidWorks, this was not checked, this little include drawings checkbox. You should check that, even though there are no drawings yet for this assembly. We should check that because then that becomes default because SolidWorks knows I checked it the last time. So leaving that on is a good idea. That way drawings also will get attached in here. And again, this assembly doesn't have any drawings yet, but as we add them, they would get included in this zip file as well. Then we just need to click save as a zip file, right? And if we wanted to, for instance, if we were using this for revision control, we could add prefixes and suffixes. So it would add a suffix, say rev A, to every file in here, as well as to our zip file name. So it's a good way to sort of do revision control. But if we're just looking to pack this up so we can send it to someone like email, we're just going to click the save as zip file, and we're going to click save. And if I now switch over here to my Windows Explorer, and I believe I saved it to downloads, so I've got an assembly1 zip now. If I click in there, I haven't unpacked it, but if I click in there, I've got all 4 files. This is absolutely necessary, again, especially if you're going to email or really put this assembly anywhere where you expect other people to be able to open it. You need to use that pack and go process so that at the other end, SolidWorks has access to all of the files that make up this assembly. So that's sort of an overview of the pack and go process. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in another SolidWorks how-to video.